In chapter 1 of the book of Amos, the Lord begins his message through the prophet Amos, declaring judgments upon various nations surrounding Israel. The chapter opens with God roaring from Zion and uttering his voice from Jerusalem, signaling divine judgment. The land mourns, and destruction is foretold due to the transgressions of these nations. God is not only addressing Israel, but also holds its neighbors accountable for their sins. The Lord pronounces judgment against Damascus, the capital of Syria, for their cruel treatment of Gilead, using instruments of iron. Because of this, fire would be sent into the house of Hazael, and the palaces of Ben-Hadad would be devoured. Their gates would be broken, and the people taken into captivity to Kir. This reveals God's justice upon nations who deal violently and mercilessly with others. Next, the prophecy turns to Gaza and other Philistine cities. For their sin of taking entire communities captive and selling them to Edom, God promises to send fire on their walls, destroying their palaces. The same fate awaits Ashdod, Ashkelon, and Ekron. God's judgment is comprehensive, reaching every major Philistine stronghold. He also judges Tyre for breaking a covenant of brotherhood and delivering captives to Edom, again responding with divine fire. Finally, Edom is judged for pursuing his brother with the sword and showing no compassion, allowing his anger to rage continually. Ammon is condemned for horrific acts of violence against Gilead's pregnant women in their quest to enlarge territory. Because of this, their palaces would be set on fire, and their king and princes would be taken into captivity. The chapter establishes that God sees and responds to cruelty, injustice, and betrayal among nations, laying the groundwork for further pronouncements in the chapters to come. Let's now read Amos chapter 1. The words of Amos, who was among the herdmen of Tekoa, which he saw concerning Israel in the days of Uzziah king of Judah, and in the days of Jeroboam the son of Joash king of Israel, 2 years before the earthquake. And he said, The Lord will roar from Zion, and utter his voice from Jerusalem, and the habitations of the shepherds shall mourn, and the top of Carmel shall wither. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Damascus, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they have threshed Gilead with threshing instruments of iron. But I will send a fire into the house of Hazael, which shall devour the palaces of Ben-Hadad. I will break also the bar of Damascus, and cut off the inhabitant from the plain of Avon, and him that holdeth the scepter from the house of Eden, and the people of Syria shall go into captivity unto Kir, saith the Lord. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Gaza, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they carried away captive the whole captivity, to deliver them up to Edom. But I will send a fire on the wall of Gaza, which shall devour the palaces thereof. And I will cut off the inhabitant from Ashdod, and him that holdeth the scepter from Ashkelon, and I will turn mine hand against Ekron, and the remnant of the Philistines shall perish, saith the Lord God. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Tyrus, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they delivered up the whole captivity to Edom, and remembered not the brotherly covenant. But I will send a fire on the wall of Tyrus, which shall devour the palaces thereof. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. But I will send a fire upon Teman, which shall devour the palaces of Bozrah. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of the children of Ammon, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they have ripped up the women with child of Gilead, that they might enlarge their border. But I will kindle a fire in the wall of Rabbah, and it shall devour the palaces thereof, with shouting in the day of battle, with a tempest in the day of the whirlwind. And their king shall go into captivity, he and his princes together, saith the Lord. This ends our reading of Amos chapter 1.